Hi guys, welcome to your week one Modern World launch. And the first project that we're going to be working on for a couple weeks is the Ideas That Change the World project. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Miss Gibbons. I believe I had most of you last year, so I'm excited to work with you guys again. I will be trying to reach out to all of you weekly, but I would love to hear from you as well. So anytime you need anything, I can't promise in the evening I'm going to be available necessarily because I do have another job and a life and things like that. So, but between the hours of 8 a.m. and 4 p.m., I am here for you guys. So these are just some of the ways that you can reach out to me. You can send me an email, send me a hangout. You can call me if you'd rather call me. You can also send me a text to my Google Voice number. So the number is 814-515-9224. And then I could text back with you that way if that's something that a way that you would prefer. If there's concepts and things you're not understanding and you'd like more explanation, I have no problem creating different instructional videos to record myself and try to explain it a little better. We can set up Zoom sessions if you need more of like a one-on-one approach. So there's a lot of ways that I can help you. So please feel free to reach out. The first thing I want to point out is the PACE chart. It is located in the Classwork tab in Google Classroom. So I'm sure you've noticed Google Classroom is a little bit different this year. Things used to be in the About page, but that no longer exists. So what I did is in the Classwork tab, I made an assignment called PACE chart. So it's always going to be there to refer back to. And I definitely recommend maybe making a copy or printing it for yourself. And so what we'll do now, just kind of take a quick look at it. Okay, so my classroom looks a little bit different from your view, but under the Classwork tab, it's going to be right here, PACE chart and resources. So this is things that you're going to use frequently in this class, so I will be uploading a few more documents here that are just going to help you throughout the year. So the Modern World PACE chart, you just want to make sure that you click on it. It's going to open up in Google Docs. And then how this works is it's very similar if you were in my class last year for US history. It's very similar. So this is week one, which runs 8/22 to 8/28. So basically you just want to think of a line coming across here, and this is what you should be working on. So it looks like you want to be starting the forms of government focus area. You don't necessarily have to master it this week, but good for you if you do. But at least be starting your preparation, the study habits and practicing how you're going to have good study habits this year. And it also, we do have something due for the PACE chart. So you want to try to get into the project, the Ideas That Change the World project, and just submit checkpoint 1. And we're going to go into a little bit of detail on that to help you guys out. That way you want to stay on pace for the rest of the year. It's going to help you tremendously. So if you get off on the right foot, the rest of your year will be easier, I promise. So again, that's in the Google Classroom. Launches, just to explain a little bit here, launches are instructional videos to help you learn new concepts as well as keep pace with the projects and focus areas. So each week I will go into a little bit of detail on either the project or a focus area that you're working on to try to help you guys study those concepts and learn a little bit faster. Launches must be completed the week that they are assigned. This is different from last year. We allowed too many of you guys to go back last minute and just randomly just put yes and no answers to things and get credit for things. And that's really not meaningful learning. We're looking for you guys to stay on pace this year, really learn something in the process. And that's not meaningful if you're just doing everything in the last couple days of school. So the launches will be available for you to go back and watch throughout the year. But if you do not do them in the week that they are assigned, you will not get credit for those. And these are important because launches are worth 10% of your final grade. This is enough to swing an entire letter grade. Last year, I watched people go from a B+ to an A-, or possibly the other way. They had an A and that dropped them to a B because they chose not to do the launches. So this is probably going to be the easiest 10% of your grade. So and these launches are truly going to affect how easy you find my course. So make sure that you are coming back every single week. I'll be posting these on Wednesdays, and then you will have until the following Tuesday to complete those. Your first project is the Ideas That Change the World project. The essential question that you'll be kind of coming back to for the next couple weeks while we work on this is how can ideas spark change? And how do the ideas of enlightenment lead to revolution? So the first thing we want to ask is, what is enlightenment? Because it's very, very important to know what that means. And the Enlightenment period refers to a time period where people basically just started to question everything. They felt they were being mistreated, that they were kind of being fed lies by their government or the people in charge. So they started to question everything about government, religion, human nature, basic human rights. And ultimately, this led to a lot of revolutions around the world. So what you'll be doing in this project is studying primary sources to see how Enlightenment did cause these revolutions across the world. When you're in here, it'll look something like this, your project overview. So you can see down the side, these are your checkpoints numbered 1 to 5. The starred ones here are your final product. That's what you submit for your final grade. But these checkpoints are what's going to just kind of keep you on pace throughout this. So the first thing you want to do is this checkpoint 1. That's what we're going to be working on this week. So checkpoint 1 is about what was the Enlightenment and what were the Enlightenment philosophers' views on human rights. You're going to be using a primary source set to help you complete a graphic organizer, and that's basically all checkpoint 1 is. So when you're in checkpoint 1, you want to click in here, this activity right here, what was the Enlightenment and what were the Enlightenment writers' views on human rights? This is going to be the activity that you're completing. And that's just the graphic organizer. You also will have to get onto resources and get this Enlightenment philosopher's secondary source set, because that's actually how you're going to find the information. Okay, and then also at the same time, you want to make sure you're trying to at least start the forms of government focus area. And just to remind you guys, the proper way to go through a focus area is you want to try to take that diagnostic test one time. That's at the very beginning here. This is more of a pre-test just to kind of see what you know, and it will give you some data so you can see what you are good with and what you should probably spend more time focusing on. So once you do that, you want to click into all of these different objective areas, and it's going to open up different resources. And when you feel ready, then you request your content assessment. Instructors will be more likely to approve content assessments between the hours of 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. because that's actually when we work and we're in the building. So get in the habit of trying to wake up a little earlier than usual and making good use of the help that you have here at CPDLF between those hours, because we are here to help you, but it's going to be much less likely to get help in the evening. But you are welcome to work at home, but again, the help is during the day. And just a closer look, when you click into an objective, this is where it's going to give you these resources, because this is where the actual learning is happening. And I wanted to kind of highlight the check for understanding. Most of these objectives have checks for understanding, and I'm pretty sure some of the assessment questions come directly from those checks for understanding. So these are basically just short little quizzes that you can kind of self-correct and see where you stand. But I definitely recommend, look at, and you don't have to look at every single resource, but pick 1 or 2, look at them, and then do the check for understanding so you can kind of see if you really did know and master that objective. What I'd like you guys to do for the first week, again, our weeks run from Wednesday to Tuesday, so it does end on Tuesday, August 28th. I'd like you to, after you watch this video, go back to the Google Classroom, and there's going to be a Google form in there that is just a couple brief questions, and it's basically just your opinion on a couple statements I'm going to give you. So I just want you to tell me if you agree or disagree with what I said, and then just basically explain your reasoning. And that's going to be your credit for watching this instructional launch. Also, you should begin studying the forms of government focus area. You do not have to master it this week, but again, congratulations if you do, but definitely start your study process. And then you do want to submit checkpoint 1 of the project for feedback by Tuesday. So submit checkpoint 1, give me a day or so to go over it and give you some feedback, and then begin checkpoint 2. I do want to stress to you the importance of waiting for feedback and only submitting 1 checkpoint at a time. So if you submit 1 checkpoint, give me a day or so to look over it. I'll give you feedback. That way you're not doing checkpoints 2, 3, and 4 wrong, and you can kind of make your corrections and start getting a better grade from there. All right, if you guys need anything, please reach out, and have a good first week of school.